tell you. There it is.
Hi, this is Ricardo Aranda.
Stephanie Aranda here.
Hey, and we just want to come on live and just share with you our personal experience with and our experience as a couple with pornography and masturbation. We feel that this is something that can't be kept in the shadows. It has to be out in the open so that solutions can be obtained. We've had some experiences with this, and we hope that this will help. And we hope that this will be an open discussion, because we want you to learn. We want to learn from you, and we want all our brothers and sisters to know that we care.
Absolutely.
So first of all, I wanted to just ask a few questions of Stephanie about. First of all, the first question is, if you could go back to the first time you chose to view pornography or masturbate, what would you say to yourself?
That's a really great question, because the first time that I saw pornography, it was a choice. I was 13 years old, and the internet was just becoming something more commonly used in households. And I saw it on the news. It was advertised that some kid at school had viewed pornography at school, and so they were advertising the site that this person viewed pornography on, and I was really curious. And so I decided to go check it out. And I was shocked when I saw these images, these very graphic images. And if I could go back to that day, to that moment, I would tell myself, don't mess with it at all. That poisons your mind. It poisons your heart. And it's so confusing. I felt this like physical reaction to looking at this image, and I didn't know what to make of it. I thought for a moment, am I gay? I don't understand. This is so weird. And when you see pornography, oftentimes it's thrown right in your face and you don't mean to see it. But my first time was on purpose, and I wish I'd never ever started. Ricardo, what would you say to yourself? Like, what was your first encounter with pornography, and what would you say to yourself if you could go back to that day? What would you do?
I would just say, walk away.
Walk away.
Walk away. Because I was similar age. I think I was 11, actually 12 or 13 myself, and at a friend's house, and it came on, and instead of leaving and getting out of there like I knew I should, I stayed and I didn't leave. And I was very confused, very difficult for me to remove that image from my mind. And so I would say just walk away and tell someone.
Tell someone.
Need to get it out in the open. So tell someone, get some help, ask someone, hey, this is what happened, I need some help, I don't know what to do.
Oh yeah.
Someone you trust, someone that you know will support you and will love you.
It's a great idea. That decision was made for me because my parents actually found out and confronted me about it, and I was so embarrassed. I had no idea like what to make of this. So getting it out in the open, that does help you to move through that. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So the next question is, do you feel that pornography and masturbation is good or bad, and why?
Awesome question. And I asked this question of my friends on Facebook. I want to know what you think, and I have been fascinated reading all of your comments and the different viewpoints of different people, what they think about pornography and masturbation, because they really go hand in hand. And personally, I think that pornography and masturbation, it's vile, it's repulsive, it's disgusting, it's a poison to the mind and the soul. And this is a very intense viewpoint, but I think it's necessary to know what you believe and believe it so deeply that you would die for your viewpoint. And oh, I would. This is disgusting, and it has infected my life and infected my marriage. I watch it infecting families. And I'm sorry I come off so intensely, but I'm very passionate about this. That's what I think about pornography.
for sharing.
What do you think about porn?
I feel that it numbs the senses. It's something that seems innocent and seems like it plays on the natural part of all of us. The need to connect, the need to be loved, the need to have sex, the need to search out a mate and to reproduce. And it's an infection because it's nothing like an actual relationship. It's like a warped view of a relationship with pornography. It's a warped view of a relationship. It's not natural.
No.
And so it taints our desires to be with an actual person. It taints our desires to love, and it actually makes our senses and our emotions dulled so much that we no longer react or feel anything for anyone.
Yeah.
Except for that carnal desire to satisfy ourselves.
Absolutely agree.
And so I see it as something wrong and hurtful. And so so getting and talking to those that are there to support you and that love you is very important to get over this and to do that. I found that when I was viewing pornography, my interaction and my connection with those around me, family, friends, was little to none. It was like I was by myself, and so that only fed my desire to view more pornography, which was just a vicious cycle that has to be broken with speaking out about it and with just loving each other. I mean, it's the connection, it's the relationships that matter. That's what's important. And we're all brothers and sisters, and that's what matters, our relationship with each other. We're here to help. We want to help. That's why we're doing this. That's why we want you to know.
Exactly. Thank you, Ricardo, for sharing that.
So, next question is, do you feel like our sex life was better or worse with viewing pornography and masturbation or without?
It was so much worse. So much worse. Like, I could always tell, like, when it was a problem for you, because I'm just gonna say it, like, you acted like a jackass. Like, you were so hot-tempered and, like, not easy to get along with. And it's easy to tell, like, when you've been viewing pornography because you don't act like you. It literally, it's like it changes your brain, and I do believe that it does. And, like, for me, like, when I was really had pornography on my mind, I don't feel like, well, I didn't have to view pornography as often to get the effects because I have such a vivid imagination. I don't need to see it very often before I can just play it in my mind like a movie and have those physical reactions to it. And with self-pleasuring too, it drives us apart. And then when we come together to have a great sexual experience, it wasn't pleasurable. It wasn't satisfying. And often, I remember one instance in particular when we were really in a crappy part of our marriage where we were already living with my parents, and we were between jobs and things were just not going well, and I was seriously considering leaving you. And this was just a terrible time in our marriage all around. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night and you weren't by my side. And I kept thinking, go get Ricardo, go get Ricardo. And I went downstairs, and I would always, like, this would happen frequently, but this particular time, like, you were on the computer and the cover was video games. Like, that you were just watching video games, and you would not, like, I knew that something else was going on. This was before pornography was an open discussion in our marriage. And we only started talking about this about 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember feeling so shut off from you because we weren't talking about it. It was, our sex life wasn't satisfying, and we were just being torn apart. And Ricardo, why wouldn't you talk to me about it? Why were you using the cover of video games instead of telling me?
Shame, mostly shame, and the feeling that I was a bad person and that you would hate me and that you would leave me, just like you were thinking of. Like I felt that you would just leave with the kids and say, see ya, not gonna be with you anymore, because that's wrong. You're disgusting and you disgust me and I don't want to be around you, because I was feeling that way about myself. I felt like I didn't want to be around me. I felt disgusted by myself and I felt ashamed. And so that same feeling was reflected onto you and to everyone else, and I thought I was hiding it, but really I realize now that there's no way to hide it. Everyone who has been there and who kind of, who is at a different vantage point can see it. Everyone around you. There's this law, this eternal law that we've been learning about, that I learned. It goes, as within, so without, as without, so within. And it's true. Whatever we put inside our minds, inside of us, comes out. There's no way to hide it. We see it in different texts and things that it says that we can't, we think we're keeping secrets and that we're really good at it, but really everyone can see it.
Everyone can see it weighing you down. Like a person that has used pornography and really knows the effects of it, you can see who else is affected by it too, because you've been there. Yeah. It's not a secret.
Yeah. And so we want to just invite all of you to share, to go and confide to someone, to be open about it, because you'll see lots of support online. You'll see lots of support around you once you open up, that people love you. They love you for you, not for your actions. It doesn't, it was a bad choice. You're not a bad person.
Yeah.
And you can still, but you're not lost. You're still loved. You're still wanted.
Exactly. I think that's something that a lot of people put on, is that since I have, been addicted to pornography, or I've been masturbating, like, you put on this label that I am an addict, or I am bad, and you're not. You're a person first. You are made of a divine creator. And that alone gives you this value, this worth. And there's a very clear distinction between what you're worth and being worthy of inspiration or whatever you think you need to be worthy of. I think that's a very vital distinction to make. We're people first. You're a person first. So we just want to get this out of the dark and open a discussion. That's our intention behind this video.
Yeah. And thank you for watching. We love you, we support you, and we're here for you.
Peace.